fast as possible. This one's going to be pretty short, so that's why I'm trying to hurry up and start it. So clickety click. I'm going for 20 minutes. The current time is 9:43. What was that? What's this? I tapped the PlayStation button twice and that popped up. I guess it shows your last trophy if you press the PS button twice, really fast. I never knew. Continue. I think we just beat the first trial? Or we destroyed them anyway, as far as logic is concerned. I'm trying to open up the chat. Give me 10 seconds. We got 10, 9, 8, 7. Internet's not on. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. Chat is open. Well. Wait, let me set a reminder too. I have to get off at like 10:01. Let's say 10:05. Alexa, remind me at 10:05 to go to bed. Alright. The detective. Inspector Hosanage. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch, I remember this. Did it rewind? I remember this. I think the game brought me back, or maybe I saved earlier? Oh, no, it's a recap. Never mind. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle, but I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. Yeah, they're doing like a recap or something. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say you're a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yeah, like we just saw this. Don't think I'm skipping. I'm not skipping important stuff. We just saw this, and then the game asked me to save, and then now it's like recapping or something. That's what it feels like. Classified information. However, I can state that categorically that they are unrelated to the case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosanage, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information about the two witnesses behind you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. This is where he tells them that you can't accuse the girl, he made her leave because she's foreign, and they didn't want you to accuse her unless you had proper evidence. Right? His sick blood cough. As expected. Bang. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in the chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady whom I guessed to be an English woman. He escorted her out of the building. Special orders, you mean to say? Remove the English woman from the scene at once. It's kind of weird. And he said he received special orders. From who? I was made clear that the English woman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. Yeah, I just said this. Unless you have you can't have her as a primary suspect unless you got proof. Without irrefutable evidence, they will be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the phantom woman in this case. But it's not right. I think the game saved here, I think. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazume? Yume University is currently hosting a number of yeah, he says the girl is at their school, she's an exchange student. Then the detective is like, oh, you're smart. You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. I removed the woman from the scene of the crime. I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university's professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical facility. What is happening here? Even the game went dark here, I think. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of the lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. Arrest all of them. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Beheaded. Very well, my thoughts on the matter are as followed. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise, namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it'll be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. But Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any others to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosanage. Yes, sir? You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given by the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem then. He coughs his brains out. This guy is sick, man. What is going on? Nothing will get in my way. Oh my goodness. He's making me uncomfortable with the coughing. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency. Good. Then we will have a 30-minute... Dude, like, this is where the game saved. I swear I just played the last 5 minutes twice just now. He's gonna ask me to save right here. To be continued. What is happening? Did I not save? And if I didn't save, why would it start there? Yeah, what in the... I think I didn't save. I think I got to this screen, ended the stream, and then just turned the game off. Shout out to all the fellow finger sniffers. He's been sniffing too many fingers? Sniffing fingers? Save your current progress. Sniffing fingers. Yeah, I don't think the game saved. That has to have been it. 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature Defendants Antechamber? Antechamber. I don't know what Judicature is or Antechamber is. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. His name is horrible. That was superb. My heart is My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, look at you in there. Or looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Ah ha 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 ha. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at least. Or at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain. Is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young lady with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have. Haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my power of observations are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Like Richard? Richard. Who the heck is Richard? 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 The circle guy? I thought his name was Wings. No, Jordy. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Richard. Liquid? Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. He got a gun. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun laying on the floor. And just after I bent down and picked it up, bang! Did the gun go off? What's this bang sound? I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot came from. Oh, it wasn't the gun then. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me in some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. The teacher guy? No one cares about this man. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our judicial system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest, youngest stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazume? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma. Well then, it looks like it's all come down to you, young man. To me? Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier in the morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor of Yume, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman who's invested. Whoa, involvement. Whoa, slow down. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Right to the end, I mean. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand to the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-san. I was trying to remember something. Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back to the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what's hit them. Kazuma? Kazuma. What? Thank you, really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me then, I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dreams of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I'd like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. I was trying to remember something. I was like, when I'm done this stream, I think I want to look up people that were people that served prison sentences that were found innocent. Like they were what's the word? They went to jail by mistake, and like they stayed there for any amount of time, and then what happened, or what was it like? Okay, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine. Supreme Court, blah blah blah, courtroom 2. The court hereby resumes the trial of ryunosuke. I'm reading fast because I'm trying to hurry up. I have like 5 minutes left before the stream has to end. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Auchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relationships we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation's founders? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nation is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Get wrecked. You really have nothing to worry about, ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial? Anxiety over some foreign government's opinions? A bungled investigation? Missing witnesses? Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan? Or of England? Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nations find itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become strong. Independency has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Ooh. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed eyes of terror. You little brat! Thank you, Consul. The court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Britt. Yes. Your Excellency. And he busts his head open on the table. Oh, they were serious. I thought she was just an American. Not an American, just somebody from England, I mean. Well, that's a delight. What a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan and from such a distant land. Tea. Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussion takes place without tea. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosanage. Why is he talking? I've been working undercover at the head waiter. Yes, we know all about you already. Inspector Hosanage, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yeah, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. It's 10:05. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and description, please? I go until 10:10. Blah 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 blah. English. You don't understand her? I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what? The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University's medical facility. So she goes to school like that? Or does they have a uniform? Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tone of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Our English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something. Three days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court had been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that true? Correct. He said, is that correct, not is that true? English words. She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she studied here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make her presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. Were you the one who engineered her escape? I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently it was very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in the courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Even she is saying it. Right there, we're stopping there. We're stopping there right now. Short stream over. I just wanted to play some more, but tomorrow I'm actually going to be playing Final Fantasy or Mass Effect. I might do Mass Effect first, but I'm not sure. I'm near the end of the first game, so yeah. Let's save. Let's save on stream so I remember and know that I did it. Look, everyone, I'm saving. Save. Right here. I'm actually going to load it just to make sure. It should go right back to where we're at. Alright, cool. It even stops right at the words. I thought there were like checkpoints or something, but there are not. Thanks for watching.